Hey guys, welcome back to Makeup 101. Last time we wore these amazing lashes and now we're ready to make our face look flawless. So the first thing I want to touch on with this is tinted moisturizers versus foundations. So tinted moisturizers are really just there to even out skin tone without covering anything up. So you're not going to get rid of dark circles or a ton of redness or freckles, but you are going to make your face look more all the same color. So my number one recommendation that I actually really love is the Beautycounter tinted moisturizer. This is a very sheer wash. I'm going to show you what this looks like on the skin. It's quite a thick formula, but when you put it on, it doesn't give you, like I said, a ton of coverage, but it kind of gives you that like glow from within, I'm gonna go run errands kind of thing. So here's my side of my face with it on. Here's with it out. I love it. It just makes you look a little bit more youthful, glowy. Let's talk about how to glam up the face for every day so that you don't look crazy and you kind of look like you're done, but not too done, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to make it go towards nighttime as well, so you look like a makeup artist did your makeup, because that's the whole point of this. So I'm using my absolute favorite foundation, which is the L'Oreal Infallible. This is the one that works for my skin. You're going to have to do some trial and error to find one that works for you, the color that's going to match you, yada, yada, yada. When you're picking a foundation, you want to look at a couple of things, and I'm going to show you where to test them so that you make sure you're getting the right one. First, you want to know what your undertone is. So if you're looking at your skin, are you really pink? Are you really warm? Are you kind of neutral? I'm right in the middle. Some people will tell you, like, look at your veining here. Like, if you have blue veins, that means you're cool. If you have green veins, that means that you're warm. I have one of both, which means I'm neutral, but I tend to lean more towards warm, kind of golden in my skin tone. My mom and my sister are really light and they are very red, so they have a lot more pink in their undertone than I do. So you're going to pick a shade that has your undertone. So you'll notice this is more yellow because that just was what looks good on me. They have shades that are like rosy that are going to be more pink, and then they usually have neutrals. Almost every single brand will tell you what the undertone is. Like online, it'll say number 400 is, and then it'll have like a name. Then to be able to test if it's going to match you, what you're going to do, this one's brand new, so it might take it a second. Okay, you're going to take a little pump of this, put it on the back of my hand, so it was a little too much. The way you want to test it is not on your wrist, y'all. That is old school. We don't do that anymore. You're going to test it on your jawline between your face and your neck. You want a shade that when you put it on and you blend it, it disappears onto your neck, not your face, but your neck. You tend to be a little bit more light on your neck than you do on your face. So if you're just matching your face, you're going to get that like telltale line from your makeup. So you want to just test that. And when you don't see it on your neck, that's when you know you have the perfect match. Now I'm going to show you a match that does not work and what that looks like too, so that you have an idea. This is my summer shade. So this is what I look like when I'm a little bit more tan. So if I were to wear this right now, I mean, you can tell right there, it's just too dark. So it goes good on my face, but when I go down to my neck, it's just a little too orange. And this will oxidize just a little tiny bit and start making me look real orange in about an hour. So I tend to, in the fall, winter, go a little bit lighter. I'm about 2 shades lighter than I would be during the summer. There's 2 different ways to apply your foundation. One is with a foundation brush, and 2 is with a Beauty Blender sponge. A Beauty Blender that's damp is going to absorb a little bit more product, but also move product a little bit more. If you want super full coverage, you're going to want to use a foundation brush. I like to just pump a little bit on the top of my hand. You can use a makeup palette or whatever. Just make sure your hands are nice and clean. If I'm using my sponge, I'm just going to pick it up straight with my sponge and go to my face, and I'm going to pounce it around everywhere. I like to also do this and just kind of pull it into my ear, just behind the ear and down the neck, just to make sure that everything looks really nice and blended. A little bit more with our brush, just like this. And we'll start kind of, you can tell already, and it is like full coverage with the brush. Now, I'm not swirling, because I'm really just kind of trying to place it onto my face and give it a good blend. Swirling it will give you brush marks, and they're really hard to get rid of once they're on. You want to make sure you blend it up into the hairline as well. Okay, so there is our full coverage side. This is definitely more natural. You can see it. You see more of my freckles here. Hardly anything is here. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference that during the day, this is kind of like my going out look. This is like my everyday going to work look. So yeah, pick which one you like and then go from there. So now let's chat concealer. Concealer is kind of one of those things that so many women get wrong because they just watch these 12-year-old girls on YouTube put these big triangles underneath their eye. It's just too much product. So if you are over 25, I'm going to show you how to place this so you get lifted and get rid of dark under eye circles. So we're just going to put a little dot right there, and then we're going to put a little dot right there. Just here and here. That's it. That's all the concealer that you need. Now on this side, we'll use our brush, and on this side, we will use our sponge so that you can get kind of the same effect. I'm just going to kind of move this outward like this. See how it's almost too much, even just that little bit. We're just kind of tapping to lift everything up and out, and then I'm just going to kind of blend that line. But look at that. Look at how that got rid of my under eye circle, and it lifted my eye like this. Now we're going to use our Beauty Blender sponge. Same thing, just kind of pushing this up and out. You don't need to take it down the face or down the nose. We're not trying to brighten up everything too much. We're just kind of concealing and then lifting outwards to here. Setting the face. If you have a really oily face, you're going to set the areas that just tend to have a little bit of oil. If you're not oily, let your foundation set itself. You don't need powder all over the face. It's going to make everything look cakey and dry. But for under the eyes, there's a couple of different ones that I love. Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics has a couple of palettes that I use at the Boudoir Studio that I absolutely love. They're finely milled powders. They go on beautifully. Becca had a great one for a long time, which is what I'm going to use. However, it's discontinued. There's lots of illuminating powders. I'm going to put a list here of the ones that are my favorite for under eyes so that you can check them out. I like to use my damp beauty blender and just kind of pick up a little bit of this powder on there and just tap it right on top of where we put that concealer. And that's all I'm going to set on my face. We're going to talk about cream contouring versus powder bronzing. Cream contour that is not too warm but not too cool. That's literally just a couple of shades darker than my actual skin. So I'm going to show you where I would put this on most people. We're going to go right along the forehead. Now, if you have a really small forehead, you're going to do just at the hairline a tiny bit, and then that's it. If you're trying to shrink your forehead, you can pull it down even further, put it all the way to here, whatever you're trying to get rid of. Contouring pulls in places that you don't want and emphasizes stuff that you do want. So like if I'm trying to pull my cheekbone up, I'm going to emphasize where I want that because it creates that shadow. So a lot of people you'll see will go right here in the hollow of the cheek. That's going to sink us. And I'm trying to show you the best way to brighten your face. So I'm actually going to do my contour where I would do my blush. So like right around here, just to pull that cheek up. And then I tend to do my nose a little bit because I've broken my nose literally like 8 times in my life. And I just like to kind of snatch it in a little bit. So you'll see me just do that a little bit on my nose just to make it look a little bit smoother and a little straighter. To just push that in towards my hairline and then just kind of blend this little line here. You want to make sure you're blending everything upward. You don't want to pull down. You don't want to like give yourself a fake beard or anything like that. I'm gonna go in with that face brush I talked about in our brush video, and we're gonna use our bronzers. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap on the side of this brush and then tap off the excess. I even will almost tap it on my hand a little bit, and then I just use little sweeping motions to pull it up and towards the hairline. And then you have dimension to your skin. When you just do highlighting, you don't have dimension to your skin. If you just do your foundation and you don't emphasize your bones, you look flat. Now I'm just gonna go right there a tiny bit where my cheek was, or my cheek was. I still have a cheek, where my cheek contour was, just on the top of the cheekbone. Now you don't want to take it all the way in here. We're just kind of going right here. I'm going to go into any cheek color that you love. Cheek color, I think a lot of people are like, you should pick one that's your natural flush. Wear one that you like. If you like pink, if you like plum, if you like peach, if you like neutrals, pick what you like. And I'm just going to set right on top of where I put that bronzer. Take the tip of that brush and go into my highlighter right here. This is a really subtle highlighter, and I'm just going to put that right above where we put the blush, and then I'll take a little bit down my nose. Now once you have all of your under eye concealer and everything on, you've kind of gotten rid of that bottom shadow and you want a little bit more. This is when I go back in and just put a tiny bit there, just to kind of re-emphasize that bottom eye line. Okay guys, next installment is going to be on our lips, and then we're done. I'm so excited. I will see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. As always, leave your questions down below and I will do my best to try to answer them. I hope y'all are enjoying it. We'll see you really soon.